Own Backup protects against data loss and corruption by providing enterprise-level control of data across all your Salesforce orgs from a single dashboard. Interactive graphs make it easy to identify Salesforce data changes over time, and automated daily backups protect your Salesforce data, metadata, and attachments. Manage proactively with customizable smart alerts that notify you whenever data is added, changed, or deleted. Quickly search your entire backup archive to find specific records, remove records individually or in bulk, and stay compliant with internal and external regulations, including GDPR. Compare backups at the click of a button to locate the exact point at which data was lost or corrupted, and recover lost data quickly, regardless of scale. With Own Backup, you can restore data records with their corresponding parent-child relationships down to any level of granularity. Speed up development with Own Backup Sandbox Seeding and Replicate to create anonymized test data sets in minutes, while advanced key management and access controls help to keep your data secure. Backup, compare, recover, replicate, and comply with Own Backup for Salesforce.
We were just a bunch of nerdy kids who ignored the haters. We took their ridicule and we built on it. And when some of us gave up, well, we built on that too. Built resilience, built on a mission to make things a little better every day until the users came. Then the haters were VCs who scoffed at our audacity. This just isn't the way things are done. But we kept building. Users turned into teams, turned into companies, running their entire businesses on our apps. Then the software giants came after us. We weren't proven, we weren't fully featured, our radical cloud model wasn't secure. But we built on. And today, as companies adopt the cloud to move faster, teams are finding themselves slowed down by each other's efforts. The skeptics are claiming we'll never develop innovation at scale. But now, DevOps have come to the cloud, ushering in a new era of transformation. Companies can release on demand across hundreds of environments, innovating faster with fewer conflicts and fewer disruptions. There will always be challenges. There will always be naysayers. And we'll build on.
So my name is Brooke Bracey, and I'm here today to talk about It's Time to Give a BAM. I love talking about BAM. If you're not familiar with BAM, you'll get to know what I mean by that in just a few minutes. And I specifically want to talk about why it's time to give a BAM about moms in the Salesforce ecosystem. So an introduction to me, I'm the training manager on the US side with Supermoms Training. You can find me on Twitter at Vegas Mama Ohana, and you have already learned a bit about me just by seeing my Twitter handle. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I love to engage with the Ohana in both places and learn from you all there. That is one of the ways I learn about awesome events like Virtual Dreamin. And so, like you may have already guessed about me, I am a mother. I'm a mother to 3 young boys, ages 7, 5, and 2. And I have been growing my career at the same time that I've been growing my family, and proudly call myself a trailblazer. And I love that what we see so much of in the Salesforce ecosystem is evangelism. And I can see throughout my own life, I spent several years as a missionary, I can see this evangelistic tendency in myself in everything I've ever done. When I become passionate about something, I just enjoy sharing it with others. And so we see that a lot in this community. Evangelists who want to share the opportunities, what they've learned, tips for success, and with others. And we just love these things and think others might benefit from it. And that's why we get involved in volunteering to share and participate in events like this. So shout out to all of those who are evangelists at heart and sharing with all of us in the ecosystem. And I want to tell you a little bit about my Trailblazer story because I believe it will help you understand why I'm so passionate about this. I've had the great luxury of working remotely since 2011. And as much as I have valued that great opportunity to work remotely, I started to feel very stuck. because I did have such a good position. I did have it so good as far as the flexibility and how it was benefiting my family and me. But I knew that if I wanted to change positions, change to a different company, look for new opportunities, I would struggle to find something as convenient, as well paid, etc. If I were to find an in-office job, I would need more income to begin paying some of the things that I didn't have to, commuting, a professional wardrobe for every day, all of that when you're working from home. So like I said, I was very happy with my career. I was thankful for that role, but I definitely felt the need to further my education so that when I did feel the need to move into a different role, I would be able to find something that could replace what I had. So I was furthering my education through traditional routes, seeking to finish my bachelor's degree, but I encountered an educational roadblock that many people face, many adults face, especially women. It was an unexpected third child that came into our lives, and we were very thankful for that, but it definitely made it difficult for me to continue studying. And I was very much starting to fear organizational change, because knowing how difficult it would be to find a job that replaced the one I had, what if new leadership came in and said, you know what, we want to have everybody in office, and I couldn't relocate to that in-office place, which was across the country from me. And so I knew things could change and shift and impact my life drastically. During that time, we had implemented Salesforce in our department, and I was starting to become the Salesforce go-to. I didn't really even know that a Salesforce administrator position existed. I just started to become the person that was skilling up and was seeing the potential and enjoying using this new platform and helping others become more productive with what we were doing. And so I started to shift my own focus from traditional education, which I no longer had the time and energy for, to studying Salesforce. All of my free time started to go into Trailhead and learning on my own. And even before I knew about Trailhead, I was creating videos to share with my team members about how to do things. And that just started to become a very important part of my job and something I enjoyed very much. So like I said, I just immediately started to share it with others because I have this kind of tendency to teach and share. And when I heard about the Trailhead program, BAM, I was so excited because it just really resonated with me. BAM stands for Be a Multiplier. And Team Trailhead has put together these resources to help us all be a multiplier in the Salesforce ecosystem. And the idea of being a multiplier and the whole BAM program is about extending opportunity and education to everyone, especially the underrepresented. And so being a multiplier can help close the equality gap that we are all aware of. Team Trailhead has put together some great resources. This is a link which I can add to chat. With the Be a Multiplier program to encourage those who are passionate about this ecosystem to share the opportunity with others and help close that equality gap. So at the last time I checked, there were 9 trail mixes from Team Trailhead with detailed guidance on hosting different kinds of workshops to introduce others to Salesforce skills. They're very awesome. I love those materials. Let me just find the chat for a moment, and I'll put this in here in case you haven't seen that yet. And I see Claire and Ellen. Nice to see you both here. And I love this definition of what it is to be a multiplier. This comes from Sarah Joyce Franklin. A multiplier is someone who amplifies and empowers those around them. So I just want to give you a chance to think about that for a second and to think about people you have worked with and whether you've had the privilege of working with anybody who really is a multiplier, even on their own teams. They're amplifying and empowering those around them. We love working with people who are multipliers. And so we want to be multipliers, whether it's through hosting workshops, whether it's through encouraging your coworkers to learn and grow, whether it's through powering up your team with new knowledge and inspiration. We love being surrounded by multipliers, and we can all be multipliers no matter where we are. So I want to just, oh, you weren't supposed to see that yet. I want to address a potential elephant in the room. Who has time to be a multiplier? Who has time to be one of these awesome virtual Dreamin people and put together a whole fantastic community event, or even a small community event to share the employment opportunities and knowledge with people in your community? And so if that is a struggle that you feel inspired, but you don't feel like you have time and energy for it, I just want you to think about it a little bit, because we can all do this. We need to start small, perhaps, and we can just local, or we can think global. Like, look at this event. When I first started talking about this a couple months ago, we weren't in the same world situation, but look at what we're doing here today on a global level. And we can connect virtually. I share this picture because a couple of years ago, I think it was almost 2 years ago, I spoke at our local Las Vegas user group meeting about BAM. Was so excited about it. I spoke about Salesforce Military, which was at the time called VetForce, because we live in a community with a lot of military people and military spouses. And I was like, we got to get the word out there. There are people in our community who need to know about the opportunity in the Salesforce ecosystem. And I'm very sorry to say that in spite of feeling support from our user group, we haven't accomplished anything yet, mostly because I haven't spearheaded it. I've got 3 little kids, I work full time, I'm doing a lot of stuff. But at the same time, I did find this opportunity to participate in a Facebook Live with this awesome Kimber Hill, who leads a Facebook group called VertForce. When I last checked in February, their community had like 17,000 plus members. I'm sure it's much more than that now, because she's growing so much all the time. I had the opportunity to speak with her, with Mike Wheeler, about opportunities in the Salesforce ecosystem and how military spouses could benefit from learning about Salesforce skills. So even though I haven't managed to put together anything here in Las Vegas, I'm very happy that this one afternoon I was able to speak to this Facebook group and perhaps reach far more people in that way. And if you haven't found the 4th person in this picture, he's right here. He was, I don't know, maybe 6 months old at the time. He had lots of hair, so you can barely see him. But things did not go as planned for me that day, but I still managed to participate in that awesome opportunity. He stayed snug in my wrap the whole time. And so I don't want you to limit yourself by the challenges and obstacles in your life, because if you feel that passion, you can still do something to be a multiplier. And I'm super thrilled now to be working with Supermoms Training since November, when we launched in the US. Our mission is to empower moms and some dads into well-paid careers in the Salesforce ecosystem. Our founder, Heather, started Supermoms when she realized that having a career in the Salesforce ecosystem was really allowing her to grow her career and her family at the same time. And as the founder of a consultancy focused in the nonprofit space, she needed talent. So she wanted to train more moms to get into this ecosystem and have better access to new talent to get onto her team. So now we've had a lot of moms come into the program. It's not a prerequisite. That is the mission that inspires us, but we love the dads that are part of the program. We love the pet parents that are part of the program, because truly many people have reasons to need flexibility in their careers and to need better opportunities in their careers. We were all thrilled at Dreamforce this year to see the focus on the Sustainable Development Goals. And these are the goals that we found ourselves so aligned with in our mission and our work. And I wanted to highlight especially these: supporting gender equality, supporting decent work and economic growth, reduced inequalities, and several others are all part of the work we're doing. And just to introduce you to some others on the team, I was just joining the team at the time of this. This is Vicki Moritz Henry. She's our head of training. I had the opportunity to work with her for 7 years before joining the team. And we started blazing trails together, really. And we became accountability partners. And I hope that all of you have those people that you're connected with that provide you with that support and accountability and motivation. And Abigail Julian, she was one of our super moms that went to the program. She had a significant nonprofit background, and now she's supporting Extend Our Mission. And Heather, our founder. So you may be wondering, you know, there are so many things that we see that need attention and need focus and need equality. And so I just want to talk for a moment about why to give a BAM about moms, because truly there are reasons, there are statistics for this. So 43% of highly qualified women are leaving careers or taking an extended and voluntary career break, largely for family reasons. And great, like, to be honest, I wish I could have taken an extended career break when I had my children. My breaks were like as short as possible so I could get back to work and start supporting our family again. But what happens for many of these moms is if they want to return, many do, that becomes an obstacle. They're going to face an increased pay gap. Mothers who take a career break to care for children, the pay gap that we already know, there's a gender pay gap, but that pay gap becomes more pronounced after they return to their careers. And the gap is even more notable in higher level positions, which I was surprised to learn. Also, moms are going to face discrimination in trying to get into interviews and trying to get their foot in the door. So women returning to the workforce will face discrimination for being out of the job market for long periods. We know that if you've been out of a job, it is harder to get an interview. You have to overcome that obstacle. But statistics show that mothers may be half as likely to, my Google slides are hiding some of my text here, but they may be half as likely to get an interview opportunity than those who have been out of work because they've been laid off. So that was very surprising and concerning for me. Also, they'll find reduced opportunities, and those reduced opportunities will cause them to, make choices that are going to be less beneficial for their career. So 70%, it turns out 74% will rejoin the workforce with only 40% to full-time roles. And you might think that that's entirely by choice, but what we see is that many are choosing lower paying jobs with lower salaries because that's what they can get, or that's what works with their new reality. So there are lots of reasons to give a BAM about mom. And I want to assure you and myself and everyone that we can help make a difference about this, and there are ways to help. So one, we want to believe. We can make so much difference for people when we believe in them. Oh goodness, I didn't update the text on some of this. I'm sorry about that. But we can evangelize, we can be multipliers, we can support by believing in them. People do this formally through mentorship, or informally through being that multiplier that is amplifying and empowering their voices in the workplace. You can be a mentor, and you can recruit and hire moms. So Heather has said that there have been occasions, which this shocks me to learn, where they have actually heard in their initial work with founding supermoms, companies say, we don't hire moms. So just to know that people would actually dare to say something like that in this day and age makes me know that a lot of people are probably being, their decisions are being biased, even if they're not saying that out loud. So we want to be open to this, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about why in a moment. But first, I want to address something. The last time I spoke about this topic, someone came up to me afterward, and I really appreciate that he came up to just continue the conversation and give some feedback. And he said that his mother was a very well-educated professional woman who had an awesome career. And she retired number 2 in a large company. I can't remember which one it was now. But she had some really great advice, and one thing she liked to talk about is that, and share with women and people in her network, is that a lot of the gender pay gap can be contributed to risk aversion, like women taking fewer risks, which we've heard this before. And I've been kind of grappling with this since I had that conversation. And I haven't done as much research about it as I would like. If anybody has, please tell me what you've learned. But I have a few thoughts that I'd like to share. So the question is, can the gender pay gap be explained or understood by studying the lack of risk-taking in women professionals, a lower level of risk-taking? And my thoughts here, not based on research necessarily, but I truly don't think that Mark Benioff is chalking it up to this. When we read and learn about what Salesforce has done, how he has led in these efforts, to overcome a gender pay gap within Salesforce. He reevaluates on a regular basis. He's invested millions of dollars in closing the gender pay gap, and he's truly a leader in this. So I don't believe that his actions show that he believes it's due to completely to risk aversion. Secondly, if this is part of it, what are we doing to inspire and support risk-taking in women? So I think there are things we can do, and I just want us to take that question with us, especially if this is what you believe is the cause. Like, take this question with you. What can I do? Because what we don't want to do is use this as an excuse to not give a BAM. Okay, so that's my big concern with that. If you think that's why, and you're just sitting there comfortably thinking, well, I can't do anything about it because they're not taking risks, I think we should challenge ourselves to encourage and support women in taking those risks and being bold. So that's my little soapbox about that. Please share your thoughts. And I want to tell you about a person that I'm really thankful for who gives a BAM. This is my mentor, Raja Kumar Palipati. If he's here, I would love to hear from him and introduce him to you. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about our story. Oh, Ashley recommends The Trailblazer Story by Mark Benioff. I have that on my nightstand right now, and I am intending to crack that open soon. So Raja, if you're here, maybe our host could give you access to turn on your mic, and I'll introduce you in case he's not here or in case he can't turn on his mic.
I don't see Raja in the attendees.
Okay. He was going to try to join, but we haven't touched base in a week or so. So Raja participates in mentoring in several ways in the community. I came to know Raja through the Trailblazer Connect mentorship program. We were part of the pilot last year. He was a mentor, I was a mentee, because I was, for the first time, embarking on a job search in the Salesforce ecosystem. I had the great opportunity of learning Salesforce on the job, using Salesforce for 4 to 5 years at the last company I was at, and skilling up there, but I was on a job search for the first time. And so I was really thankful to have his mentorship. He's an architect and advanced developer at Capgemini. You can find him on Twitter here, LinkedIn here. And since that time, one of the things he really encouraged me to do while I was in that job search phase and during our mentorship process, he really encouraged me to consider this position with Supermoms because he thought it was such a good fit for me and he really believed in their mission. And around that time, he also volunteered to mentor with them. So now he continues to mentor with Trailblazer Connect. He mentors with Supermoms. And this is what he says about why he mentors and what he gets out of it, because that was my question for him. I know what I'm getting out of this mentorship. What are you getting out of it? How can I make this mutually beneficial? And he said it improves his coaching skills, communication, and problem solving, all very important in any position in the Salesforce ecosystem or anywhere really. He says he gains expertise in assessing the mentee's skills and gaps. So one thing I want to point out is this very likely helps him when he's helping to hire new talent or choose new talent for his team. He also refreshes the skills previously learned, which I've heard from our other mentors too, because they're supporting new talent as they learn the basic admin competencies and the most up-to-date information about them. He's constantly refreshing and keeping those skills fresh, even if that's not something he's using every day at the moment. He said it also makes him a more understanding human being and keeps his skills fresh and his mind young. When we last spoke, he had 5 mentees, and I absolutely consider him an MVP. I voted for him. I hope others will vote for him. But even I love the Salesforce MVP program, but I know there are a lot of MVPs in the ecosystem that may not even be recognized yet by that program. So hooray for Raja. I'm so thankful to know him and have him as part of our group of volunteer mentors with Supermoms. And I want to introduce you to some of our Supermoms. These are some stories that we really love to share, but there are a lot more on our website. This is Jasmine. She's a solutions consultant in Salesforce and Pardot at Economic Change. She says her new career has helped her to achieve the flexibility she needed to juggle kids and work. She can work from anywhere with Salesforce. She's got like 9+ certifications now, and we've loved to watch her story. Hermjit is a Salesforce administrator. Last I knew, she was with Visionary. She said she had a long career break to raise 3 children. Whoops. And once she read about Supermoms training, she was excited as it was everything she had been looking for. And for her, it's been life-changing. And we just launched in the US in November, December. So we have several new trainees in the US, but this is one that I had a chance to meet in February, Stephanie. She's a 1st grade teacher. She's a mother of 6, and she's still transforming her career with training with Supermoms. So she's a member of our first US-based cohort, which started in December and will finish at the end of this month. So she'll soon be pursuing her certification and her exams. She learned about Supermoms and about the Salesforce ecosystem from her husband, who's an architect. So I just want you to think about people in your lives who may need, especially at this difficult time, a different career, and maybe you could share the opportunities with them or help them figure out if this resonates with them and can be a great opportunity for them to have more stability in the financial stability in their future. Supermoms is making a global impact now. I know there are other groups making an awesome impact too, and we love them and love hearing about them and supporting them as well. And we're really thrilled that we've have over 200 Supermoms and a few dads, and that number has grown since this because we just have started a few new cohorts in the last couple of weeks. Our Supermoms do work projects, volunteer work projects as part of their training for nonprofits through our consultancy partners. And so over 110 nonprofits have benefited from receiving Supermoms volunteer work. So they work in a supported environment so they can be successful, get the skills, and have something to put on their resume. So it's really awesome, and we love working with the nonprofit partners to benefit them, grow their mission while extending ours as well. We have over 100 volunteers globally, and I hope from this call today we'll have more. We're really building our pool of US volunteers now since our program here is growing. And we have 4 training courses: admin, consultancy, PD1, and marketing cloud. We are also a registered Salesforce partner, and we look to continue extending our mission globally. So I hope you're following us on social at Supermoms Global. And if you're interested in volunteering, please go to our website, supermoms.org, support us. There are also other ways to get involved as partners or sponsors. And if you're interested in any of our trainings, you can check that out here. But we are sharing as many resources as we can all the time through social media. So we do encourage you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even if you're not ready at this time to participate as a volunteer or as a trainer. You can get the feel for what we're doing and hopefully learn some things too, since we share as many resources as we can. So I have some final thoughts, and then I would love to hear any questions. I also want to take a look at chat to see if there's anything I can follow up with there. There's this article in the New York Times that really impacted me. I'll have to get that. If the link is at the bottom here, but I can't access it at the moment. But one of the quotes from there is that motherhood is the biggest cause of the gender pay gap, and it may take fathers to change that. And I think we could say fathers and allies. You don't have to be a parent to get involved in supporting this mission. I believe that we can do this by being an advocate for women and for flexibility in the workplace. And we also can and need to be an advocate for equality at home. And I say that in a very serious way, because I know that many people are living in a situation where there's just an unbalance in the workload at home, and it can hold women back, and it's not fair. It can affect mental health. So I work at my own home to be an advocate for equality at home, and I want to encourage everyone to seek to be an advocate and a multiplier in these ways. And whether you're the most passionate about supporting moms or women or the LGBTQ community or people of color, I think we all can find so much satisfaction in being a multiplier and empowering and amplifying others. And one of the questions I like to ask, it may be a little bit more impactful in an in-person event. Even today, my question is, how many parents here are able to be here and focused because a mom made it logistically possible? So I have to raise my hand on this. My dear mom is, I consider her part of our household. We tried social distancing as long as we could, but thank you, Marlee, for raising your hand. My mom has my 3 boys right now, and she's going to help ensure that I can present. 2 participants raise their hand. She's going to help ensure that I can participate and deliver my session later. Srilatha raised your hand. Thank you for acknowledging this. So if you do one thing, if you tweet one thing about this session, I would love you to see your tweets, thank you mom, and virtual Dreamin 20. And please tag me at Vegas Mama Ohana. So the last event I was at, my mom flew from out of state because she didn't live here yet, she does now. She flew from out of state to come be with my family so I could go for 36 hours, be in an event in person. And I just want you to acknowledge and be aware that if you see a mom taking a new training or at a community event, please consider the unequal load that many families have. And thank you to the men out there trying to change this. But it's so common in many families still. And recognize that it may have taken extra sacrifice, extra logistical planning, and extra commitment for her to be there. And please recognize what someone like that can bring to your company and projects. So thank you for listening. I'm going to head over to chat and see if there are any questions. Ashish, did you see anything?
No, there is nothing, but yeah, take a moment to.
Okay.
If you want to make some comments on some of them.
Oh, thank you for resharing that link when someone looked for it. Love accountability partner. Yes, Nicola, it helps so much to have an accountability partner. He discusses the gender pay gap clearly in the book. Oh, that gives me another reason to read it. The Trailblazer book.
Yeah, that book discusses it, that where women are saying that my colleagues are buying Teslas and I don't have money to buy even a normal car, and then all the money that you have to spend It's an amazing book to read.
Oh, awesome. And Brenda, I just saw that Brenda, one of our volunteer mentors, is here. And Brenda also does volunteer training for us. Thank you, Brenda, for sharing that. I wish I had noticed earlier you're here. Emily's here too. She's also one of our volunteer mentors and trainers. They are both amazing. Thank you so much. And Claire, let's see what Claire's comment was. I've seen so many people in the last few months posting things like, with all this time stuck at home, I've earned 3 new certifications or completed 100 new Trailhead badges. I'm so hungry to keep learning Salesforce and advance my career, but sometimes I feel like as a mom, I'm not able to run at the same speed as the tech-savvy youth of America. How did you find the balance of moving at your own pace while keeping up the fast-moving train that is the Salesforce ecosystem? That's an awesome question, Claire. Thank you for acknowledging that. So, first of all, I have sacrificed just a little bit of my sanity, I'm pretty sure. I have allowed my children far too much screen time, but I try to make sure that when I am spending time connected with them, that I'm fully there. So make the moments that you are there with them really count. I mean, obviously I'm with them 24/7, but it is difficult working from home and having children when they're home. I feel like they feel a different type of neglect because they're there and you can't focus on them than they would feel if you were at the office and not able to spend time with them. Like they feel that absence differently when you're there and you can't spend time with them. So one of the things I do is I do something called Special Time, which is a tool from handinhandparenting.org, which I can't recommend enough. Special Time. It sounds self-explanatory, but there's actually a method to it. So even if I'm just playing with them for 10 minutes, I'm setting the timer. I'm not doing anything else. I'm completely in their world for those 10 minutes. And then that really helps get them on board when mommy's studying. I share when I get confetti for a Trailhead badge, I share that with them. They follow. Oh, Nestor is here, and Anna, thank you so much. Nestor, I'm so happy you're here. I used to work with Nestor at the company I worked at before, and I haven't had a chance to catch up with him lately. Nestor helped me so much at the start of my trailblazing journey, and I'm so grateful. But I get my children excited about what I'm doing. They like to look at my Trailhead profile and see all my badges. I celebrate with them and my family when I earn a certification, like I get a cake. I have a party and I make it fun so that they know. I feel like I want them to know a little bit about what I'm accomplishing and share that excitement with me. And the last event I went to, this one very kind person actually wrote a letter to my kids to tell her what it meant to her that I was there and speaking about this at that event. And that was really special to me. They're young enough that I'm not sure that it meant a lot to them yet, but it just meant a lot to me. So any other thoughts or questions?
Oh, that's great, Brooke. I'm a parent of 2 kids, and then the way my wife handles, I don't think I can do my job effectively without her support. So if I find myself successful in my job, it's not just me, it's the support that I get.
That is so awesome to hear that acknowledgement.
Yeah. So thank you for this session. This was not technical, but probably something that is more important than a technical talk. These thoughts are hard to find on YouTube. Technical stuff we can. So thank you so much. We appreciate it so much on behalf of Virtual Dreaming. And
thank you.
Thank you.
I want to put the link in chat for anybody because we really are actively looking for additional volunteers in the US since we're building our presence here. And so if anybody does feel inspired to support our mission in that way, we would be so grateful. And if you have anybody that you think would benefit from our training, I'm happy for you to put me in touch with them on LinkedIn. Brenda had a good comment here. I think it's really important for kids to see parents working hard, learning, just like they have been during online school. We do it together in our house. That's great. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah, thank you, Brooke. Thank you.
Kathleen asked if we're considering expanding into Canada. So really our expansion into the US could really be called the Americas because it's all about being in this time zone. So we can support people in Canada, and we have at least one volunteer in Canada right now. And I'm not sure if we have any trainees yet in Canada, not that I can recall. but yeah, we certainly welcome people from Canada. We're still based in the UK. Our expansion essentially was bringing me and another person onto the team here in the US, so we could support people here in these time zones. Okay, well, that's time. Please join me for my session about how business analysis is the key, or one key, to being an awesome admin. It's going to be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, wait a second. Is that Eastern Time or Pacific Time? No, I forget again. I've gotten so mixed up about that session time, but look for it on the speakers page and please join me there. I have some really good info about business analysis, and it's going to be short.
If you are looking at the roster, Brooke, then all the roster times are in Eastern Time.
Eastern Time? Okay, then I think it's 9:30 Eastern Time.
I can check for you.
But it's not a great time zone for some people, or time, period for some people, but bring your tea or bring your glass of wine or whatever. I'd love to have you there.
All right, then.
Thank you, Simon, for the vote, for encouraging Kathleen to join our program. It really is. Okay, I'll talk to you all soon. Enjoy your learning these days.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.